Peace and blessings, family. Nikki Love here with a video about depression. I wanted to do this video. I think it's very important that we talk about and we address and we find natural ways to handle depression in our community. Depression is very prevalent in today's society. There are so many people, 1 out of 3 or 4 people are suffering with some type of depression. And we have to understand what it is, what causes it, and how we can best solve this problem. First of all, in our own lives, in our children's lives, in the lives of those we love, and then that of society, because we need to be able to help each other to live in this world, to heal this world, to make this world a better place. And so without further ado, let me get into this video. So what is depression? Depression is characterized as a mental health disorder. So your brain has a normal function. Depression just means that your brain is not functioning normally, whether that's through a chemical imbalance or it is from some other episode, a stressful event. It could be through genetics. It could be caused by illness. It could be brought on by bad relationships. It could be brought on by trauma, unresolved trauma. Trauma as an adult. It could come on in any kind of way at any time. We are never safe, you guys. We are never safe. Anything can happen at any time. So, number one, we have to always be aware of the things that are going on around us. You have to be aware of your surroundings, aware of the things that are going on in your life, and aware of things that could happen. So you always have to prepare yourself, okay? What types of depression is there? So you have manic depression, you have bipolar, you have psychotic, you have depressive, you have seasonal, and then you have postpartum. And you have some others too, but those are the 5 main characteristics or different types of depression. What brings depression on? The biggest thing is stress. Okay, so we have not all mastered how to handle stressful situations. Everybody goes through traumatic events. If you are a human, you are going to have a traumatic event in your life. And it just depends on how you handle things. So let's just use relationships because that's a big one. Okay, when people have breakups, they often go through a period of depression where they can't eat, they can't sleep. When you're heartbroken, your body reacts to that. And so your mind is not in synergistic balance with your heart. Your heart and mind are disconnected from each other. So, of course, you're going to have those dark moments where you just want to lay in the bed. You want to turn off all the lights. You don't want to be bothered. You want to turn your phone off. You might not even wash that day. You might just get up to use the bathroom. You don't even want to eat. You can't sleep because you have a ton of things going through your mind. You might go through a period where you're crying all the time. That is a indication of depression, okay? But how long are you going to be in that depression is another thing. See, there are some things that we can control, and then there are some things that we cannot control, okay? It is normal to go through a period of grief, just as you lose a loved one. You lose a loved one, you can't eat, you can't sleep for a couple of days, you're crying, you just don't want to do anything because your motivation is gone, your inspiration is gone, your heart and your mind are disconnected from each other. So of course it's going to affect you, but how long you're going to be in that depression is up to you. How aware are you of your own emotions? How easily can you withstand stressful situations and bounce back? How easily are you triggered, and things like that. So we have to discuss emotions and then tie that into depression as well, because you have to learn how to govern your emotions so you won't make yourself depressed, because you can make yourself depressed now. You can stay in a depression longer than necessary, and you're self-sabotaging your own wellness by doing that. So we need to make sure that we are grieving properly, but also that you're understanding that it's normal. It's a normal human behavior to grieve over something. So when you get over that grief process, I think it said it only takes 3 days to really, really grieve really hard. Anytime after that, it's on you. So don't grieve longer than normal in order to stave off depression. Okay, we don't want to self-inflict this illness on us. Okay, some things we cannot help because some things are genetic. If you have a family history of mental illness, it's more than likely that you can have mental illness, but it can be a different one. Let's say your mom or your dad was schizophrenic, you can end up being bipolar. And those are just personality disorders. And there's nothing you can do about inheriting a mental illness. You can try to do certain things in order to manage it, but the way that your brain is made or created through your DNA, you have no control over. Okay, so don't beat yourself up or feel bad if you were born with a personality disorder. It is common, but there is hope. Okay, so you don't have to feel like you're not normal or something's wrong with you. You just have to learn how to manage your symptoms, and we are going to get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to go over some of the types. Okay, you can go into postpartum depression after you have a baby. A lot of times it's hormonal. I tell people a lot of your emotions are hormonal based. Some of your hormones are out of whack. So you have to learn how to eat right for your hormones. You have to learn how to not ingest certain things and not consume certain things that are going to affect your emotions. If you know caffeine makes you act a fool, then you might not want to take too much caffeine. If you know that sugar makes you off the chain and it makes you hyper, and as well as alcohol, alcohol makes you act a fool, you might not want to drink alcohol. Always try to adopt healthy things that are going to put you in the right state of mind. That's another one. Substance abuse is a big cause of depression. Okay, a lot of people take substances to replace the dopamine in their brain. So you have 3 different chemicals in your brain. You have serotonin, you have norepinephrine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then you have dopamine. So serotonin is how your energy, your nerves, that's your nerves, how your nerves are connected to your brain, the signals that your nerves sends to your body from your brain. That's serotonin. The dopamine is your reward center, is what makes you feel pleasure, what makes you feel motivated. And the norepinephrine is the adrenaline. So that's your blood pumping, that energy, that excitement. And those are the things that are off when you're depressed. Depressed, you have low energy, you feel hopeless, you feel lonely, you feel despair. It's self-torment and it's self-torture a lot of times. But oftentimes it can be corrected just depending on what is causing your depression. Okay, so you can also have seasonal depression. It's called SAD. And this is during like the winter months when the sun is not shining. You have a lot of cloudy days, you have a lot of rainy days. Fall, winter, those are the typical months that people get depressed because there's a lack of sun. And you know you need the sun because you need vitamin D. Vitamin D is a big factor in depression because it creates synthesis in your body. Vitamin D is the best doctor for depression, but we're going to get into that as well. So you can also have psychotic and manic depression. And those all have to be treated with some type of medication, whether you want to use pharmaceutical medication or whether you want to use natural medication. But you have to use something in order to balance those chemicals in your brain, okay? You have chemicals on your left, you have chemicals on your right. You have to have a balance in between. So you have to really do a thorough intake on yourself and try to pinpoint what is the cause of your depression, and better yet, get a medical diagnosis. You need to be evaluated by a medical practitioner so that they can diagnose you correctly. Okay, so once you know your diagnosis, then you can get into the other ways, the self-help ways to help balance yourself back out. Okay, so let's get into the relationship part of depression. Now, as you get older, you make better choices, hopefully. You know, when you're young, you make some bad choices in who you decide to have relationships with, and that can be a big factor in depression too. You know, rejection, things not working out, you really love this person, or they cheated on you, or they abused you, or they did something really horrific and horrendous to you, and now you hate them, you regret them. How could they do this to you? A lot of that is emotional depression, okay? You have to learn how to separate relationship emotions from your real self. Okay, you cannot allow another person, another human being, to make you lose your mental health. Your mental health is the best thing that you have. It's the most important thing that you have. Never allow another individual to take your mental health away from you, okay? So whether that means you have to separate yourself from them, you have to take a break from them, you have to realize, is this person good for me? Is this person contributing to my illness? Is this person making me better, or is this person making me sick? Hey, there is no love. Love does not hurt. Love does not do wrong. Love does not torture and torment. Even though love is merciful and long-suffering, you do not have to take a bunch of mess from anybody who claims to love you, okay? That's messing with your mental health. You cannot afford to do that. So if you love yourself enough to choose better partners. Okay, so also, what are some of the things that you can do to help you naturally get over depression? So you can do things that boost your serotonin, like sunshine, exercise. Now, 30 minutes of exercise can boost your serotonin. It reduces depression by 20%. Get up, bicycle, exercise, yoga, Pilates, running on a treadmill, walking, jogging, aerobics, Zumba, lifting weights, swimming, golfing, playing sports, tennis, dancing. Those type of things can boost your serotonin. You have to get up and move around. You have to get the circulation going in your body in order to get your blood flowing, your heart pumping, and getting that good adrenaline in your body. So exercise and sunshine is number 1 and number 2. Number 3, you can get a massage. So if you go and get a massage, see, massages can trigger those tense points in your body. It can help like soften up your nerves and stuff like that. It makes you relax, and once you're relaxed, you're not as tense and you're not as stressed. So your body reacts to stress too. So you don't want to get sick because you're always stressed and you're always tense. So go get a good massage. Nature. Spend time in nature. I'm a nature girl. I love water. I love smelling the trees. I love nature trails. I love lakes. I love ocean, the sound of the ocean crashing up against the shore. I love to hear the birds chirping. I love flowers. Flowers, everybody knows flowers are my favorite. Find some place in nature, mountains, go camping, go fishing, do things in nature. Nature is spending time with God. You spend time in nature, you spend time with God, and that's healing all by itself. Okay? Listening to different frequencies. So, everything has a frequency. And listening to music with good frequencies is also healing for the brain. So 432 hertz is really good for the brain. You can look on YouTube. You can look up binary beats. You can look up, I think it's Aficionado or something like that. Or you can use a tuning fork. Or you can just listen to music that's set at a healing tone. Listen to healing sounds. Listen to sounds of nature. Put them in your ear pods. Go to sleep with them. Meditate with them. And they can help heal your mind. Get good rest. A lot of people are stressed and depressed because they don't get enough sleep. And some people can't get enough sleep because their brain doesn't shut off at night. If you have a little bit of ADHD, you might need something to calm you down. Take you some good valerian root, some chamomile tea, some passion flower. Melatonin is so overused, but you can use like L-theanine. You can use L-tryptophan. You can drink you a nice cup of tea. You can use sleep techniques. You can breathe. Do different breathing techniques. Just try whatever you need to try in order to relax and get some sleep, because rest is very important. Hydration. Your brain is so much water. It's like 70% water or something like that. I don't know if I'm saying the right percentage, but you need water in order to nourish your brain. If you are dehydrated and your brain is shrinking and it's all dry, of course you're going to be depressed because your brain is not conducive to, your physical standard. You have to nourish your body. Your brain has to be nourished just as well as your gut, because you have a brain in your gut too. So you have to stay hydrated. Make sure you're getting all your electrolytes, your potassium, your magnesium, and all your good minerals, okay? In fact, they did a study and they show that it's vitamin B12 deficiency that can cause depression. Yes, you can be depressed because you lack a certain vitamin. So make sure you're getting all your good vitamins, multivitamins, everybody. If you're not eating from all the food groups every day, you need to supplement, okay? You need to eat oranges, apples, bananas, peaches, pears, plums, watermelons, and you need to eat a bunch of green veggies, okay? Also omega-3s. Omega-3s are very good for the brain, very good for nourishing the brain, and so is fish oil. Also DHEA is also good. And some amino acids are good as well. Like tryptophan, L-tryptophan, tyrosine, arginine, L-theanine, GABA, 5-HTP, SAMe. There's also herbs you can use, such as rhodiola, holy basil. You can use passion flower, ashwagandha. You can use St. John's wort, and you can use ginkgo biloba. So those are some things that you can do physically to help you overcome depression, okay? Like I mentioned, make sure that the cause of depression is not self-inflicted, and that it's not inflicted by people around you that claim to love you. Always control what's going on in your life. You are the master of your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the king or queen of your throne. You control the energy in your life and the people around you. Never let your company that you keep ruin your sanity. Okay, that's all you have. At the end of the day, you want to go home. You want to have peace. You want to have peace, not only just peace of mind, you want to have inner peace. You're not disturbed. You're not bothered. Nobody's making you angry. Nobody's arguing with you. Nobody's gossiping with you. Nobody's stressing you out. Nobody's using you or abusing you. You guys cut all that out, because if you don't, you are inviting these types of things in your life. And you cannot heal if you don't take control of your environment. Speaking of environment can also play a part in depression as well. You guys don't forget that we have cell phone towers. We have a lot of radiation. There's chemtrails. There's stuff in the water, chemicals, contaminants in the water, preservatives in the food, not to mention the synthetic dyes in the food. You got red number 40 and blue number 30 and green number 20 and yellow number 5 and orange number 10. So those things can also have side effects, mental side effects, as well as makeup, perfumes. I keep telling you guys, the stuff you put in your hair, even wigs and synthetic wigs, sometimes you can have chemical reactions to stuff. The detergents you wash your clothes in. You guys, be very, very, very cognizant of the things that make you feel a certain way. Pay attention to how you feel after you drink or eat something or wear something or put something on your head, or just learn how to pay attention to the energy that surrounds you, because sometimes depression is just bad energy and you just might need to cleanse or take a break from something or eliminate something. So always be aware. But no matter what you do, you can heal yourself. Don't ever think that you can't heal, because you can. Anything is possible. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video on depression. I will do a part 2. Please like, subscribe to my new channel, and share this video. And as always, I thank you. I thank you and I love you. Peace and many blessings.